Yeah, practice 14. Really pleased with the team. Seeing great competition. Also seeing some spots that we think we can improve on and things like that. But overall, I thought the competition's been great. The install on offense, defense has been really nice, and even the special teams. So I think the energy we're getting from our players has been nice for the last 2 days. We got some live work today, so we'll see what happens on practice 15. If we're going to do some live stuff, I think I'm going to leave it up to Jay and A-Rod to decide that, how much work we need. But I'm open for all of it. I know they wanted to do some live work today and had quarterbacks live again, so that was good for our guys to go through all that. So I'll take any questions you guys have.
What have you learned through this spring about the team? Maybe something that the guys took to a little bit quicker, whether it's maybe on the defense or like players acclimated a little bit quicker, or leadership, something like that. Like, is there anything this spring that kind of, I don't want to say surprised you necessarily, but that you were like, oh, that's something that I think we definitely know about this team come fall?
I think everybody knows going to the Big 12 and the schedule, so I think I don't think there really needs to be anything in addition to that. That's enough to get your attention, and I think the guys they're aware of it, and the sense of urgency is nice. So I like that we have a good number of guys with experience that are returning. So I like the leadership, but overall I think the focus on the schedule, on our opponents, and the excitement to get into the Big 12 conference and making sure we represent as best as we can year one. I think that's the key for our guys, to focus for our players.
In the future in spring, I know some coaches have talked about potentially Power 5 teams playing FCS opponents. What would you be open to, like, having either like a live practice with like a Weber State, or have you thought about that at all, that possibility?
I haven't thought about that. I mean, has that ever been done before? I don't even know. I mean, I'm old, so never did it when I played. So I don't know. I think
He
that.
was talking about it at Auburn a whole bunch of times.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think whatever they decide, we're going to do. So if it just remains how it is, then we'll take advantage of it. But if they allow us to do that, then great. But right now we're getting a lot of physical play out, just playing each other right now, and great competition. And if that changes, then we'll just add it in.
Specialists have a specific role, but what does Ryan Rico mean to this team?
Yeah, he's the veteran now, and so I think it's a key that guy knows how to. He's got a great strong leg, one of the best punters in the country, and his leadership, the way he's a great holder for our PAT and field goal unit, and it's nice that his backup is his brother. So I think he can give him all the tips that he needs to even try to beat him out, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I like what I've seen from both Ricos, punting the ball and holding, so they're both holders, and it's given our guys a nice chance to kick field goals. And we saw a huge improvement from day one to now, and I feel a lot more confident going into the season with the guys, the way they're kicking now.
Do you need to be more specific about which Rico you're calling after in practice now? Or?
Well, I think everybody
Before you
knows.
could just say Rico and there was one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I think now we got to call them by their first name, and that's all right. But if you say Rico and they both look, that's great. If you say coach, there's going to be 20 eyes looking over to whoever says that. So it's like saying dad in Disney. There's a bunch of men that stop and look. So even me, obviously not my children. So anyways.
What have you just observed about the interior defensive line this spring? What do you like about what's developing?
Yeah, I see a huge difference in just the technique and the presence. I know that Sione has had the focus on stopping the run, but also collapsing the pocket in the pass game and freeing up the D ends to do what they do best, come off the edge. And the coordination of the pass rush is nice. The disruption of the line of scrimmage is nice, and I think we need to get those type of battles with this O-line. We need to improve. O-line is a good group and a good talent, and so it's nice if we have back and forth. And I thought we had that. From Monday and then from today, you see it back and forth with O-line, D-line, guys getting wins here and there, and guys getting knocked back on O-line, guys get knocked back on D-line, and that's a good thing. If one's just dominating the entire time, then we could be in trouble. So it's good that we're getting competition for both, and the interior D-line is doing a good job right now.
Depth's always a big thing for interior defensive linemen. How are you feeling about your depth, and how deep do you want to go with those guys?
We feel good about the depth. We just need two deep that can run, and they can play and try to keep. In the past we've had asked those D linemen to take on probably more of a role in the pass rush as far as eating up blocks, and now they're a little bit more free to go make the play. So I think there's a give and take in a lot of different things, but I like the way Sione's coaching the interior, I like the way K-Pop's coaching the outside. I think it's going to be a good difference for us, and definitely for guys that will benefit from it will be, guys like Batty and Bagna and Isaiah Moore. I mean, there's a lot of guys, Bodie Schooner. There's a lot of guys on the edge that are just excited that they're the main focal point of our pass rush.
I wanted to ask specifically about Nisa Mahe. He's been through a lot, senior year now. What's it been like watching him go through his journey and come back for one more
Well, the
year?
adversity's been so many different ways. Lost loved ones and had to overcome injury, and he's looking like he did back in 2021. So I'd like to bubble wrap him and just get him ready for day one, for game one. But there's a lot more things that he can improve on, and I like the intention that he has in getting better, and a lot of that is him, and a lot of it is Sione's approach and individualized coaching that he's getting, specialized coaching that he's getting from him. You got the microphone for the last.
You might as well ask a question.
Mitch, you want to ask a question?
Just how do you feel that?
Who was I talking about? Nisa Mahe. Because you just got it. When you put it down, I said him. So
what are you looking to accomplish with like the exit interviews coming up? Have you already had those with players, or are those yet to be determined? So
yeah, there's some that's already happened, and there's obviously we got one more practice on Friday, so there's more that's coming, and it's kind of letting the players know where they sit and where we project them, and then see if that fits what they want to do and fits what. I mean, there's just so many different ways this can go. That's just part of the natural attrition of football, that you have guys that are going to enter the portal for many different reasons, and you have coaches that want to look at different having and adding and subtracting people on the roster, and that's just part of it. But I'm going to trust our coaches, our coordinators, to get that part done, and my job is to just make sure that we appreciate the guys that have been here, and then welcome the guys that we're looking to bring in.
Kalani, did you structure spring ball? Because I know the portal opens on the 15th. Did you structure it this way so that as spring ball ends, guys, if they decide that they're going to leave, they can do that?
Yeah, a little bit. I think we wanted to get more. In the past, we've been done with it in March, and we put a lot of practices for in 1 week. Jay and A-Rod asked for a little bit more time to get their complete install for spring and get film on. So that was, we kind of spaced it out, had more time for meetings, and then we just knew that we could end with the practices with a given amount of weeks that were given for the from the NCAA. Just kind of stretch it out a little bit, get more meeting time, and find ways to get our install and get the film all ready for the time for us in the summer, and then also for fall camp. So that's I think the move was to try to get ready for fall camp, and I feel really good. I know they feel really good about where we're headed now. We'll come down to the last practice, but for guys and it benefits them, for guys that are going to the portal, it gets them some film that they can put out there, and get some more time to make a decision too. So I know the coaches will make the decision, and their decision, and players have some things to decide on, and we'll find out in the next little bit. But that's part of football, guys. That's how it is, and we're going to the Big 12. There's a sense of urgency from our coaches and our players to make sure we get our team as strong as we possibly can before we go into this fall.
You've talked about helping guys along the way. If BYU's not for them, helping them find their next spot. Are you still as active in doing that now as you have been in the past?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and part of that is that, where we're talking about just generally, those guys are putting in some time. They're once a Cougar, always a Cougar, and so we'll always try to do our best to help them. But also part of that is me doing that to show them gratitude for what they've already done for the program and for our culture, so that doesn't have to be a negative thing, and I don't think it's been negative yet. So we'll just keep working how we do, and feedback is great, and maybe it's not what some people want to hear, but I think feedback's usually a gift, and so we try to do what we can to make sure that our players aren't guessing on what we're thinking and what their position coach is thinking and what their coordinator's thinking, what their head coach is thinking, and we go into the season, into the off season, knowing that our expectations of them and what their expectations of themselves should be.
Would you
Anything
say
else?
this is a
Last question.
normal year for attrition, transfer portal guys leaving, or is it maybe more of a higher rate because of, like you mentioned, the Big 12 and all that?
Well, I think maybe that might be part of it, but it's also the new coaches that are here, you know, and Jay make sure he feels like he's comfortable with the defense that he's going to call. So and allowing his staff to make those decisions too, and that's so I think it's a combination of both. And but you know, I can't forecast how it's going to look other than there'll be some difficult conversations, but all of it, the intention is to make sure that everybody's on the same page and that they know what our expectations are.
All right,
Thanks, guys.